Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday asserted that while the All Progressive Congress was working hard to retain power in recent elections, the combined opposition was a victim of overconfidence, the main reason he believed they lost. President Muhammadu Buhari wants Nigerians and the international community to know that the reason why the opposition lost, he said the combined opposition. First of all, that idea is wrong-headed in the sense that the opposition did not contest as one body. They contested as different political parties. There were 18 political parties that contested for that election. So to say that they contested as one body shows that the president got it wrong ab initio. And then he said that they lost because of overconfidence. Which party before the election exhibited overconfidence more than Buhari's All Progressive Congress? This is a political party that their presidential candidate refused vehemently to participate in all the debates that were held ahead of the election. All the debates that was arranged where the political parties and their presidential candidates had opportunity to tell Nigerians what they want to achieve and how they are going to achieve it. APC and their presidential candidate tinubu deliberately ignored those debates because they were overconfident that they would win. They were the ones that were overconfident. Because if they had regard for Nigerians, their presidential candidate would have been in all the debates, the same way that the Labour Party presidential candidate was all over the place trying to sell his agenda to Nigerians. The same way that the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate, to some extent, attended some of the debates, to the extent that the New Nigerian People's Party presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso, was everywhere so that he could be heard on what he had for Nigeria. If you are talking of overconfidence, they were the ones that were overconfident because they disregarded Nigerians. They took Nigeria's docility for granted. And of course, at the end of the day, the real reason why they won, which Buhari himself ought to know it, if he's not deliberately of getting it, is that they allegedly rigged the election. It was the rigging that gave them the victory. The same way that PDP was rigging in their time, even where they are not popular, is what exactly APC is doing. They use ethnicity, they use religion, they use violence. The president as commander-in-chief cannot claim he's not aware of this. He cannot claim he didn't get security reports. So how can he say that it's overconfidence that made the opposition to lose? It is not true. The reason why the opposition lost, and I'm putting it lost in quotes, is because INEC allegedly compromised the election, especially in the transmission of the presidential election results. Because INEC was able to transmit from their beavers the senatorial and the House of Reps election that was held the same day with the presidential election. But deliberately, like Chimamanda noted, manipulated that of the presidential election. Because up till now, they have not given any believable and reasonable reason to tell Nigerians why the presidential election was not transmitted. In any case, is the President Buhari not aware that days after the election, the opposition parties were demanding for the result sheet with which INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu used in declaring Aswaju the winner of the election, and he couldn't produce the results. It took them days. Why did it take them that long to give the opposition the results so that they can file their processes? Because it's believed that they allegedly manipulated the process. So what are we talking about? And Buhari, that presented himself as Mr. Integrity, is claiming he's not aware of what his political party did. Come on. Come on. Come on. Nigerians are no fools. Nigerians rejected the APC. Perhaps the president is not aware of it, but he ought to be aware of it, that Nigerians rejected the APC. In the election, 61% of Nigerians voted against Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC. That is a rejection. It has never happened in Nigeria's history that a presidential candidate was this rejected. Even though he had been declared winner by INEC, he was rejected by Nigerians. 61% of Nigerians rejected Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC. He was rejected. Only 36% of Nigerians. And that 36% has to be taken with a pinch of salt. Because it's alleged that so much vote was padded to APC and Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to even get this 36% that he got. So the president is ridiculing himself in the sense that, being a man of integrity, he ought to have removed himself from this election and allow the court to do their job. Because the court is now going to be the last hope of the common man in Nigeria. That is the last hope of the 61% of Nigerians that rejected APC and their presidential candidate, the courts. So Buhari should not be making statement that indicates that he is trying to influence the judges by coming to talk about how his party won. He should be talking about how his party was rejected. 61% of Nigerian voters rejected his presidential candidate. Now, Buhari spoke. He was speaking at his residence in the State House, where he received the Progressive Governors Forum, led by its chairman, Governor Atiku of Kebbi State. The president said, talking about the opposition, he said they were already telling their foreign backers that they will defeat the APC. Our party blended confidence with caution. We worked hard and won. Now, you are the president of Nigeria, and you know that there is foreign backers for the opposition. What did you do about it? Because the foreigners are not supposed to be influence the outcome of election in Nigeria. So if it is true, of course it's a lie, that foreigners back some candidates in Nigeria, it will be a violation of the electoral law, electoral act, and electoral processes in Nigeria. Because foreigners are not allowed to influence the outcome of our election. And if Buhari is aware of it, what did he do to bring such people to book? Just to show you that it's a lie. It is a lie. He said now their overconfidence is creating more problems for the opposition than anyone else. They are finding it hard to convince those who supported them from outside why they were unable to beat us. The reason why the opposition was not able to officially beat APC, because in reality, the APC was beaten. But since INEC is the one that is to make the announcement of who won and who didn't, is because of alleged manipulation, alleged rigging of the election. The same way that 2019 election was also rigged by the APC, allegedly. That was the reason why APC won. And I'm putting this one in quotes because no reasonable person in Nigeria voted for APC. What are you voting for APC? You are voting for APC for 23% inflation rate, 33% unemployment rate, 133 million people under poverty, 53,000 killed in the past 8 years of APC leadership by insurgency and banditry. The naira scarcity, the fuel scarcity. Come on. There's no way APC could have won the election on a free and fair election. And Buhari, as a man of integrity that he claims to be, and with which he has been marketed, ought to have known that things was not normal with APC, that there's no way they could have won the election. And to claim that they have foreign backers, the foreign backers, who are they backing? Is it Atiku? Is it peterobi of Labour Party? Is it Rabiu Kwankwaso of NNPP? That's a vague statement that they have foreign backers. Because if they have foreign backers, he said they have foreign backers. It means that the opposition contested as one unit against the APC. But that's not what happened. But even at that, if the election result was transmitted in real time as INEC promised, there is no way that the APC will come close to first position. They ought to be in the third position. And if the results are tabulated accurately and you remove all the alleged parade votes allocated to the APC will come down to third position. That is the truth. Look at the way the country is. APC won, but by INEC announcement. But is there anyone celebrating? Except those who are corruptly enriching themselves through the system of APC? Except those who are benefiting from the insecurity in the country? Who are the people celebrating? Even in Castina, they cannot be celebrating because over 7 local governments are under the control of bandits. And the president knows it because that is his state. So there's no way that the APC could have won the election. That is the gospel truth. And the president ought to have known it as the chief security officer of the nation. Why is he trying to pretend that he doesn't know that Nigerians detest APC because of the suffering in the country, the naira scarcity, the fuel scarcity, all kinds of scarcities has bedeviled this country under their leadership. And they think, and they were raising shoulders that they won. But my worry about this kind of statement is that it is a kind of statement that I hope will not influence our justices, that they will look at the petitions before them based on the evidence before them, and not because of the statements of Buhari that they won the election. Even the international community cannot be fooled. That's why the Minister of Information and all whatnot, they have been going to London and Washington, trying to convince them that the election was free and fair. If the election was free and fair, you don't have to travel to go and tell them that it was free and fair, because they have people around Nigeria, they have embassies, they have reporters. So It's unfair to hear this kind of statement from the president. He ought to have keep away and be preparing for his handover note so that he will allow the system to work smoothly, so that the court will determine the outcome of this election as it should. Since INEC has failed the nation by not sticking to its rules and regulations, by not sticking to the Electoral Act, by not transmitting the election result, presidential election result in real time as they promised. If they had done so, there would have been no litigation. I can tell you for free that if INEC had transmitted that presidential election result from the polling units as they were transmitting the senatorial and House of Representative results, there will be no litigation and there will be no need for litigation, because everybody would have seen the result in real time, knowing that the processes is far more important than the outcome. So that is the real reason that APC won. Alleged connivance with INEC in making sure that the presidential election result was not transmitted to the IRIF from the polling units as they promised before the election, and as contained in the Electoral Act. They didn't do it. Why did they not follow it? Because these are some of the reasons why Nigerians were celebrating when Buhari signed the 2022 Electoral Act, but they didn't follow it. So Buhari should have known that that is why his party won, that the election was manipulated allegedly by INEC and his APC and the APC. If not so, there is no way APC could have won. And already you can see, even with the manipulation, you can see over 61% of Nigerians rejected the APC. A fact that should have humbled them instead of raising shoulder, that they were able to survive. Did they really survive? Because at the end of the day, when they begin to mark out all the padded votes they gave to Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu allegedly, the numbers of APC will come down, and that's when we'll go back to third position, where he rightly belongs. Because you can't tell any reasonable Nigerian that APC meant well for him when he's suffering under insecurity, living under 23% inflation rate, living under extreme poverty. Nigeria is also the poverty capital of the world. Over 133 million Nigerians, multidimensional poverty. And you look at all this and you say that APC won. APC was rejected. APC was rejected. If the presidential election was allowed to run through without interference, allegedly by INEC, by disrupting the transmission, by stopping the transmission of the presidential election result, which even the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, admitted that they deliberately stopped it under the guise that there were hackers, because of hackers. But why didn't the hackers hack the senatorial and House of Reps inside the same beavers? Why would they only be interested in hacking the presidency? It is because if that election, the results were transmitted as it should, there is no way APC would have come second in that election. They would have been in third position, because Nigerians have suffered so much under their leadership. So many Nigerians have been killed. If you know the number of IDPs in Nigeria right now, bandits chased away people from Niger to Nasarawa, Nasarawa to Benue, from Benue to Taraba. Everywhere you go, bandits everywhere, chasing away people from their homes. And you are raising shoulders that APC won. No, APC did not win. APC did not win. The election was allegedly manipulated. So their winning is in quote. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video so that Google can rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.